Something about the Marshall JVM series is kind of weird. The JVM 410H here that I have, it's a balls to the wall, spare no expense amp that Marshall released all the way back in 2007. Now we're going to go through the specs in a second, but they absolutely threw the kitchen sink at this one. The tones genuinely go from like chimey cleans all the way through to as metal as it gets. The JVM series also gets overwhelming praise from past owners. The reliability on them is pretty good, secondhand prices on them are good. There's also a bunch of mods that you can do if you want to improve or tweak the sound if you're into that kind of thing. But most of all, this is Marshall's most modern sounding and full-featured amp. But it's 18 years old, and to me, that is just kind of weird. But anyway, I whipped out the camera, I filmed some sweet footage of the JVM 410H. So let's check all that out, check out some specs, and then we can rip into some sounds with all the different channels and modes going on. Alright, so just fired everything up now. All the knobs are pretty much at noon on this channel. We're going to take a look at OD2 Red. The presence and resonance are at noon. So this is what you can expect with an amp up at noon on the heaviest channel. We'll just mess with some knobs and you can get a feel for how the tone stack's working. So let's check out the presence and resonance and see how they work. So this is what the tone sounds like, OD2 Red here. Now, as you probably heard, the red mode on OD2, and it's going to be the same for OD1, super thick, super gained out, compressed sort of sound. So if you want like a wall of sound kind of thing, when I'm thinking punk, maybe Offspring, they have that really thick guitar sort of sound. The red mode is going to be the way to go. But if you want something a little bit more organic, a little bit more breathing room and dynamics, maybe like Story So Far, you'd go to orange. But let's finish off on the red and then we'll check out the orange mode. Alright, let's flick it over to the orange channel and just see how things open up and breathe a little bit more. So that's the same EQ tone stack. Let's go through it a little bit more, mess with the treble and stuff. Sometimes the orange channel could be quite versatile because I've got the gain cranked up here. That's sort of like the sweet spot there, and you can still get that thick palm muting thing going on. Just a little bit lower, and you get that more chimey sort of punk sound. Alright, so just flicked it over to the green mode. Now remember, we're still on the OD2 channel, so it's as gained up as it gets on this amp. So this is the green. Game's about halfway now, so we should still get a bit of sizzle at it. It's actually funny that that's the green mode on the OD2. I feel like you really need to embrace the default channels here. So the fact this is OD2, you're not going to get a clean sound out of it. If you want a clean sound, go to the crunch or clean channel, and we'll definitely check that out later. So I don't think about green as the clean version of the OD2. I just think of it as like the least heavy. So if the orange wasn't doing the trick for you, maybe just take it down to the green, and maybe that's more sound that you were going for. Alright, let's flick over to OD1. I tried to match the settings, setting for setting, and we're going to hop from red to red. I'm not going to do a ton of comparisons in this video. If that's something you want to see, let me know in the comments, and that's something we can explore. But for now, let's just take a listen to OD2, flick it over to OD1, and hear some of those differences. OD1, I think, is a little bit more vintagey, a little bit more raw. It's got a little bit more body going on. But yeah, let's check it out. So maybe that's the sound you're going for. Let's mess with the EQ stack on this one a little bit. All right, let's check out the gain range. A little bit savage, but you know, that's how we like to dial things in. Yeah, that to me is like the ultimate gain spot. Anything above that, it's not really doing much for you, and anything seriously above that just sounds so bad. But yeah, that's OD1 red mode. Let's take a listen. Same settings, going from red to orange. I don't know what it is. Maybe OD2 is a little bit more compressed. It's a little bit smoother. Maybe upon first inspection, it's easier to dial in a tone on OD2. But as I play with it more, there's more meat, there's more girth in this OD1. So I'm going to explore this more. All right, so just flicked it over to the green channel, the clean channel on the green mode. I've split the coils on this guitar here. I'm also in the middle position. I'm running some fairly heavy compression settings. And of course, if I'm holding a clean guitar on these kind of settings, there's only one song that I need to be playing. List of never-ending things I should be doing. It's definitely learning some more clean riffs and really embracing this stuff. So I piled on some delay reverb into those heavy compression settings, and I think you're going to know this one. So there we go, that's my look at the Marshall JVM 410H amp. Now, in terms of Marshalls, it's probably either my favorite or one of my favorite Marshall amps that I've ever played. It's very easy to hit those punk and metal tones, which is what I go for. And if I ever had the burning desire to play something ultra clean, then you just heard there in the end, you know that it can handle that stuff as well. Now, I didn't run any boosts into the amp here in this video. I could probably do a whole dedicated video to running boosts into this amp, because you can definitely, you know, shape the tone and all that kind of stuff, but it kind of doesn't need it. I wanted to show this amp in its own light. It's got more than enough gain on tap in all those different modes. So yeah, all in all, if you want to get a Marshall amp that's kind of modern and doesn't suck, then I definitely think the JVM series, especially the JVM 410 series, is the way to go. Now, the best part about these is they've been around since 2007, so at least here in Australia and also in the UK, there's tons of them around, and secondhand prices are super reasonable. So I know that we've come full circle since I first posed this question, why hasn't Marshall brought out a new flagship since the JVM series? I really don't know. I did some digging. I don't know why they haven't brought out a new amp. Maybe that's going to be something on their cards. NAMM 2025 is just around the corner. Maybe it's 2026 things. Who knows? I think they're finally making some amps, so maybe we'll see something in the not too distant future. All I know is that we do have the JVM series of amps, and they're pretty awesome. So that's about it for this one. As always, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. If you like what you saw here, make sure to like, subscribe. If you want to join Discord, all the links are down below. If you stuck around to the end of the video, you're a legend, and I'll catch you on the next one.